Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well this week. Our virtual field trip is going to be through the meadow today. So sit back and enjoy as we look at some of the plants and the interesting signs of living things that can be found in a meadow. This is a meadow habitat. Meadows are large open fields with low-growing plants, like this one, and like the ones you see around you here. See, big open fields. And you'll notice that the meadow connects to some smaller trees that are starting to grow and fill in. Let's look at some of the other things that make this meadow so diverse. Well, here's a plant. Interesting one. This is called goldenrod, and it certainly doesn't look golden now, but in September it was a beautiful bright yellow plant. And look what's growing on another goldenrod plant. You can see several of them here. This ball that you see, this is something called a gall. And because this one is in the shape of a ball, it's called a ball gall. Now, what is it? A gall is actually an insect's home. And look at them all here. It's a type of fly. I wonder if you can count them all that you see in this picture. It's called a spot-winged fly that makes its home inside of this plant. The adult spot-winged fly lays its eggs on the goldenrod plant when it's still green, early in the springtime. When the eggs hatch, the little larvae chew into the stem of the plant and this ball forms around them. This becomes their home, and they stay in here all through the spring, summer, fall, and all through the winter. In the spring, they'll go into a cocoon inside of the gall and will make a tunnel for themselves to the outside wall of this gall. And when they hatch, they will fly away as an adult spot-winged fly. That is, if their winter home hasn't been discovered by someone else. Here's a gall that no longer has the larva in it because something has found it and taken that larva out. That something is a little bird you've already met that says chickadee-dee-dee. They know where to find insects in the wintertime. You see, everything is connected. Here's another interesting plant, one that you may recognize, or if not, let me just hold this up for you. See that? See the seeds there? I wonder if I do this. We talk about seed dispersal, how seeds move from one place to another. What does this tell you? What can you infer by looking at this? This plant with all these seeds on this fluffy material here. You can see the wind blowing the seeds, and they will soon be blown away and will hopefully land somewhere where they'll find what they need to grow. Look at all the milkweed fluff on the ground, everyone. So you see, those seeds were carried by the wind and they've landed here. Oh, this plant, one of my favorites. I'm sure some of you know this one. This is the one that sticks to you. It's what we call a burdock. And if we look really carefully, closely, you can see there's little hooks on the end, which is how they stick to us. Something that we use every single day in some part of our life was invented by looking at the burdock plant. When we talk about seed dispersal and how plants move from one place to another, there are different ways that happens. We've talked about how wind moves the seeds of milkweed from one place to another. Well, burdock has a different method. Those hooks stick to us. And if we open those burrs up, we can see the seeds on the inside. If these stick to us and we then take them off our clothes and drop them on the ground, we've just planted a burdock plant, which is what the plant wants us to do. Sometimes people look in the meadow and think, oh, there's just grass. But when you look carefully, that's when you see that there's much more diversity than you may have originally thought. And you'll see signs of consumers, other animals that were here. Look at this trail that goes through the meadow. My guess is that that is a deer trail. Oh, and look at how the grass has tamped down here. That tells us someone was sleeping here. Likely deer or coyote. As I'm walking down the trail in the meadow, look what I found. Yes, that is what you think it is. This is what we call scat, or an animal's poop. By its color, by the things that are inside of it, by its shape, we can tell a lot about what animal this came from and something about its health as well. This is telling me that a coyote was here. I like to lie down on the ground in the meadow and make myself small. Try to imagine what it would be like to be a creature who lives in this space. And look at this. See what we find? Whose little hole is this? What tiny creature lives here in this meadow and finds shelter and safety underneath the grasses and the plants that are here? So you'll notice how the meadow is tall plants of different varieties. We've spoken of the goldenrod, the grasses, asters, Queen Anne's lace, so many different varieties. And as we walk through the meadow, you'll see that we begin to see some small trees and shrubs. And behind that, you see the forest. So you see one habitat connects to another, which connects to another. That allows animals to move safely from one habitat to another, and that's healthy. Here's what I love about a meadow too. I love just sitting down low and lying back and looking up and just looking at the blue sky, becoming part of the natural world around me. Just feeling like I blend in, watching the clouds. I'd like you all to try this. Go out this week sometime, lie down on the ground, look up, and just enjoy the sky above you. Well, now I hope you do take the opportunity, everybody, to find an open space, lie on the ground, look up at the sky, and enjoy some cloud watching. And I know this week you and Ms. Gibson are going to do some nature journaling as well. So I really look forward to seeing some of the things that you are noticing. And of course, I'm always interested in hearing your questions about what you're wondering about. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you this time next week. Bye.